Well, there's been another school shooting, this time in France, of all places, where a teenager armed with multiple firearms, he had a couple of handguns, a shotgun, and I believe a rifle as well, plus a training grenade, walked right into the school and apparently was confronted by the headmaster, ran up to try to negotiate with the kid, who then shot the headmaster in the arm, saying, "You're not the one I'm looking for." He ended up shooting 3 other students before being arrested. And what's interesting to me about this is that, of course, there's this obvious knee-jerk reaction of we need more security at the schools. We need to make sure that people don't have access to guns. But what is causing the violence? This is not an American problem. This is a worldwide problem. People, it's not even having access to weapons because, obviously, there's homemade explosives involved in some cases. There's knives. I mean, you look at some of the incidents in China that have happened over the last couple of years with somebody going to these schools with machetes and just horrible things that happen. Why do they go to places like schools? Well, because there's a whole bunch of victims waiting, and part of it is the conditioning that's happening in some of the video games. You saw this with one of the school shootings that happened in America, maybe 3 years ago, where the kid involved basically had been playing these video games where he racks up a number of kills just by going through the hallway and killing monsters or whatever else. There's something that's happening to the human psyche that I don't think a lot of people are really thinking about very much. We're devaluing human life. And part of it, I think, comes from this culture of throwaway people. Euthanasia is common in Europe. The whole right to die movement here in America, a number of people think you have a duty to die if you become too much of a burden on your family. I mean, you already see that children are killed before they even come out of the womb in many cases because they are an inconvenience or because they weren't planned or whatever else excuse people give for infanticide. The point of the matter is, human life is not valued. And to see something like this, yet another horrible, tragic incident, and with this immediate knee-jerk of we need to take the guns away, we need to bolster security, all that does is take away even further the individual responsibility. Look, I have a responsibility to make sure that I keep myself and my family safe. I don't do stupid things like going out and playing in the street. I keep myself and my family safe. In that regard, I keep them safe with firearms. I mean, especially when I go out camping here in Alaska. Good gracious, there's bears everywhere. It's my responsibility to make sure that we are sufficiently armed against that threat and prepared to use the firearms. The issue is not one of pure violence, because I mean people have always been violent. I think going all the way back through human history, you're going to find examples of people being violent to each other. Even babies have this violent tendency. One of their first reactions is to hit other people as soon as they figure out the gross motor skills. Point of it, once again, is that human life has been so devalued that a lot of these folks who are carrying out the violence are not seeing these people as people. Now, in some other cases, it's targeted killings. They feel bullied. They feel unvalued themselves, and they're lashing out. How do we fix it? I don't know if we do. And this is part of the issue, too, is that there's this collectivism that somehow it's not my responsibility. Look, my responsibility is with my kids to make sure that they're not being conditioned to just, see people as objects, to make sure that they view other people with the value that it is inherent in them as human beings. It's my responsibility to make sure that my children are growing up to assign value to others and to treat them with honor. And I would venture to say it's probably your responsibility with your children as well. It's not our responsibility. It's my responsibility, and it's your responsibility. It's time that we own it. That's my 2 cents. Love to engage you on it. Send me an email, steve@radiofreespeech.com. Thanks.